Emily had never thought twice about her bathroom mirror. It was simply part of her morning routine. Brush her hair, check her makeup, maybe adjust her earrings before heading to work. But one Tuesday, something caught her eye. She blinked, and her reflection blinked just a fraction of a second later. She froze, staring. The delay was subtle, almost unnoticeable, so she told herself it was nothing. Maybe she was tired, maybe the light was weird. But over the next few days, the delay grew longer. Why Friday? Her reflection's movements felt oddly deliberate, like it was thinking before reacting. That night, she stood in the bathroom brushing her teeth when her reflection stopped following her movements entirely. Instead, it smiled, slow and wide, while Emily's own mouth stayed still. The smile looked wrong. Too many teeth, stretched just enough to make her skin crawl. Emily backed away, heart hammering, but her reflection leaned forward, pressing its palm against the glass. A faint, cold mist spread across the surface, though her bathroom was warm. She reached out without thinking, her fingertips just an inch away from touching glass. Then her reflection's lips moved on her. The sound didn't come from a mirror. It came from inside Emily's head, a whisper that was too faint to understand, but cold enough to make her shiver. She stumbled back, turned off the light, and shut the door. That night, she couldn't sleep, replaying the image of that smile in her mind. When she returned to the bathroom in the morning, the mirror was perfectly normal again, or so she thought, until she moved away and saw her reflection lingering for a heartbeat longer, watching her leave. Emily started avoiding mirrors altogether, but quickly became impossible. Her reflection began appearing in places it shouldn't. Darkened shop windows, the glossy surface of puddles, even her phone's front camera when it was off. Each time, it was doing something different for her, tilting its head in a slow, unnatural way or mouthing words she couldn't understand. Sometimes she thought she could almost make out the phrase, "Let me in." She tried to cover every mirror in her home with sheets, towels, and newspapers. For a day, it seemed to work. But the next morning, her bathroom mirror was uncovered, as if something had deliberately removed the sheet. Her reflection stood there, grinning, eyes locked on hers. The smile stretched wider and wider until it looked painful. That night, Emily had a dream, or maybe it wasn't a dream at all. She stood in a cold, dim place that smelled like damp stone. The surface in front of her was glassy and fogged, but on the other side was her bedroom. She pounded on the glass, screaming, but her voice didn't carry. On the other side, her reflection was in her bed, sleeping peacefully. When she woke, her heart was racing, and her room felt icy. The bathroom door was ajar, and the mirror inside was fogged from the inside. Her reflection was there, smiling faintly. It tapped once, then again, in a slow, deliberate rhythm. She couldn't move. Then it lifted one finger and curled it in a beckoning motion. Emily shut the door hard and pressed her back against it, listening as the slow, rhythmic tapping continued and grew louder. The tapping didn't stop. It became pounding, shaking the walls, until Emily couldn't take it anymore. She grabbed her coat and fled the house, but her reflection followed her, not in person, but in every reflective surface she passed. Car mirrors flashed her grinning face. Store windows showed her standing completely still, even when she was moving. Once, she saw herself reflected in a bus window, whispering something with a look of absolute delight. She smashed her phone screen, terrified of what she might see. But reflections are everywhere. Polished doorknobs, water, even the gloss of a stranger's eyes. Wherever she went, it was there, watching, waiting. Then one morning, the bathroom mirror was simply empty. No reflection at all. Emily stood frozen, staring into the blank space where she should have been. The silence in the house felt heavy, pressing down on her chest. Slowly, she turned, every muscle in her body stiff with dread. In the shadowy corner of her bedroom stood someone identical to her. Same hair, same clothes, but the skin was slightly too smooth, the eyes slightly too bright. It smiled, stepping closer, each footstep deliberate and slow. "Your turn," it whispered. The voice was her own, but colder, hollow. Emily backed up against the wall, shaking her head, but the figure's grin only widened. It reached out a hand and touched her shoulder. In that instant, everything went black. When Emily's neighbor saw her the next day, she seemed different, too perfect. Her movements just a little too precise. And when she smiled, it never quite reached her eyes.